joining us. We're going to have Ed Cooley first, and he'll give an introduction, and then we'll take questions from our local media, and then we'll turn to Zoom, and then we'll also hear from Jared Bynum and Noah Horchler. The Friars will take on the Kansas Jayhawks on Friday at 7:15 Eastern Time. Please note we had incorrectly put that out as 7:29. So I'm sorry. The time is 7:29. It is not 7:15. Okay. Coach Cooley first.
Just excited to be here. Very excited for our team. Very focused right now to get to this point. Our goal was to get back to practice for Monday. That was our goal when we left after selection Sunday, after we got on the plane last Tuesday, I believe. I'm mixing up my days, but I mean, just overall the joy I feel for our program, the joy I feel for our players and the commitment they've had all year. You know, a team that was picked 7th, a team that was coming off a disappointing year last year, being 13-13, having a tough end of the year game against Creighton, who turned out to be one of the better teams in the country, and I think they were picked 8th, 9th, or 10th, somewhere in there in our league. It's a credit to what Coach McDermott did with his group. But overall, just the opportunity to continue to advance and to have a second weekend team that they've earned, that they deserved. What an opportunity for Providence College. What an opportunity for our fans, our supporters. Just so grateful and appreciative of the moment. And hopefully we can play against a very talented, well-coached, athletic team. Coach Self and I do have a relationship. One of the funniest things, and we can get into that, is when I was at Boston College, we were down in Augusta, Georgia. And I don't think his luggage came in, and he asked if he can borrow a shirt. And I said, you can borrow it if you have the brand of which I worked at that point was Providence College. He said, I can't do that, Ed. I can't do that. We were recruiting Andre Iguodala at that point in time, and neither one of us got him. So I'm excited to play against Coach, excited Norm Roberts, his associate head coach, or one of his assistant coaches, I have a great relationship with them. So it's going to be a hell of a challenge for us, but it's an opportunity for Providence College.
Ed, I know this time of the year you kind of live in a bubble, but since you've been back, since you won on Saturday, have you gotten a sense of how important and how big this has been for the area and the campus?
I really haven't. Quite frankly, I've been very selfish for the players. I haven't grasped the enormity of it, but I feel it. When I'm driving, I feel it when I stop at the gas station. I feel it walking into the stores. And I'm grateful to our Rhode Islanders because they appreciate what our players have done. And they've earned that appreciation. You feel it. But selfishly, I'm focused on the task.
Ed, taking on Kansas in this big game, blue blood program, everyone thinks of them when they think college basketball. Just what does that kind of stage and facing that team on this big stage mean to you in this program?
Well, we feel the Big East has set us up for this opportunity. There's some great teams in our league, high-level games, big stages that we've played on. We play in front of sold-out arenas just about every time we walk into a building. We understand the stakes here. An opportunity to get to the Elite Eight. We're 40 minutes away. And the task in front of us is a very experienced, older, athletic. Coach Self has more counters than you can counter, So we got to be prepared of, okay, when something breaks down, what's their it? So we're trying to prepare for their it. Very physical, make it hard to run your offense. But the enormity of it is great, but it's 40 minutes. It's a game, and I got to get my men ready for it.
And Creighton shot the ball extremely well against Kansas the last time out. Do you call your good friend out in Creighton just to maybe get a scouting report?
I think we do our job trying to find out as much information as we can. Of course, coaches share. I'll have a conversation with people who are out of conference because conference foes don't share information on, they're cheering for their conference, of which they should. Yet, there's other people that have played them, so we'll try to get as much information as other teams are willing to give up. But, you got to trust your own eyes as well. With technology today, you can get every time they took a shot, every three they made, every backdoor cut they had, every post-up they had. And that's where our support staff and our film crew do a really good job of giving their it.
What stood out watching Apache on film?
What stood out? Everything stood out. He's talented. He can score it at every level. He can drive it. He can shoot it. He can post. He's super athletic. You got to keep him out of transition. He's having the year, and when you look at his gradual progression, it reminds me of the progression of a Bryce Cotton, where he was his freshman year, his sophomore, his junior year, and now having the senior year. He's one of the elite players in all of college basketball. So, I mean, that's going to be a tough task for us.
The way that you described the Kansas team sounds like your team.
Well, I feel great about my team. We're different, though. We're older. We're experienced. We have some athleticism. It should be a great game. It really should be a great game. And, in these games here, it comes down to the little things. Can you block out at the right time? Do you give up an offensive rebound on a block out from a free throw? Can you execute late game baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds? Can you make your free throws? When you get into tournament play, as you know, the littlest things mean a lot.
And how do you manage the guys coming from that big high of winning 2 games in the first 2 rounds to coming back to work and keeping them focused, make sure they don't get too high or too low? Do you manage that at all?
I think we've done a great job all year preparing for that. Honestly, we've got our doors blown off a couple of days, and I don't think you worry about that. You stay in the moment. You be very transparent with your team, open and honest and very direct. This is the task we have. So I think as the message is clear to them, you'll keep their focus in the present and in the moment. I think if you deviate from that and you're all over the place with your message, their thoughts will be all over the place.
Ed, you're playing Kansas, as you mentioned, one of the Blue Bloods. One of the other 16 still left is St. Peter's, who couldn't be further on the other end of the spectrum. I just wonder your thoughts on the magic of this tournament where 16 teams are left and 2 of them could be so far apart in that way.
Well, you got it. I mean, we played St. Peter's, and I remember talking to Shaheen, who I'm very close with, what he's done for that program, what he's done for the MAC conference of which I played in. I'm very proud to say that he's one of 4 black coaches that are still in the final 16. And the energy and joy he's brought to that region for them, it's what March Madness is all about. Like when you hear it, that moment, they're in that moment. And he should be applauded for he and his staff and his team. When we played them, I said, you're a really, really good team.
You're playing for the city and the state, but you're only one of 2 Big East teams left.
Mm-hmm.
How much pride do you take in representing the conference at this stage now, just you and Villanova left?
Feels great. It feels really good to be, one of 2 Big East teams. Hopefully we can be 2 of 8. That's the goal. Yet, I say it all the time, the Big East sets you up game after game to prepare for these moments. Is there a team in our league that plays similar to Kansas? I haven't thought about that enough. Again, selfishly, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, and given some of the obligations with what comes with getting on this stage, it's something new for me, so I'm learning. I'm learning just like the players are learning, and the more I learn, the more comfortable I'm getting.
Any reach out this week that you weren't expecting, or conversation that maybe opened your eyes because you are one of 16 left?
A lot of the fellow coaches that we have relationships around the country said try to enjoy the moment. Very, very hard to get to this position. It's been 25 years since Providence College has been there. But at the same time, stay hungry and know you have a good team. So that's kind of been the message from, friends and opposing coaches that have texted or called from around the country.
And is there anything you could take, you play the NBA arena at the Big East tournament, going to the United Center, is anything to that, or is it just something that's overblown?
I look at baseline to baseline. There's 94 feet of opportunity with 2 rims and a backboard. Whether you're playing at the Dunk, whether you're playing in Alumni Hall, whether you're playing at St. Peter's, there's opportunity. And 94 feet in between that, it should be an incredible chance for one team or the other to advance. I don't look at the arena. It's 94 feet, man.
Okay, so now we're going to take some questions from Zoom. Mike, you got our questions queued up there? Okay. Okay, Walt from Long Island is our first question.
Walt from Long Island. What's up, Walt? Walt, why did you?
Cooley, what's up? Congratulations, my man. Eating a lot of crow the last couple days, big guy.
That caught me off guard. He said Walt. I'm like, Walt? I didn't know it was going to be Walter.
That's right. That's Wally. Yeah, Wally, Walter. Congratulations again. I was dead wrong about you guys. I've been eating a lot of crow. What is it about the DNA of your men in that locker room that, one, makes them so clutch in close games, and two, has allowed them to play their best basketball when the lights were brightest in the NCAA tournament when it meant the most?
Wally, we wanted to prove you wrong. No, let me tell you, the DNA in that locker room is real. It's trust, it's toughness, it's belief, it's playing with an edge, playing with a chip. You know, we're still the team that was picked 7th. We're still the team that everybody talked about. Well, this team didn't have this main guy, and this team didn't have that. Well, we didn't have AJ for a month. We didn't have Mania for some games. We didn't have Jared for some games. And we never talked about what we don't have. We appreciate what we do have. We know who we are, and you got to get lucky in order to advance in a lot of these games, whether it's tournament play. And what I'm proud of our guys is we saved our best for the moment, and hopefully our best is still yet to come. But our guys are just feisty. They're fun to be around. They're older. They know how to walk into practice. They know how to go to the weight room. They know how to go to the film room. When you have preparation like these guys have had, their focus has been big time, Wally. So I'm really proud of them. It was great to see you, man. You caught me off guard there, brother. You caught me off guard. I'll tell Blaney you said what's up. Wow, that caught me off guard right there.
Okay, our next question is Jamal Murphy.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Jamal, how are you?
Doing well. Congratulations. I got a couple questions, 2 questions for you. The first one, you mentioned the 4 black coaches in the Sweet 16. There's 5 of color. That's actually the most, and I went back to about 2010. It's the most since at least 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Yeah. So I just want to know how that makes you feel to be part of that group, and what do you think it says about, since, as we know, more black coaches have been given the opportunity to coach in the last couple of years?
I really appreciate your question on that, and I apologize for not recognizing probably one of the best coaches in college basketball in Coach Sampson, who, unbelievable job. If anybody's ever building a program from the roots up, it's that guy. And to have us there, and I go back and think when I was a young kid with John Thompson, John Chaney, and Nolan Richardson, that's the only coaches we had to look up to aspire to be. And for us who are in that position now, we got to be guardians of the game. And we also need to continue, like last year was a historic year for minority hirings. And hopefully that's just not a fad and a lightning in the bottle. We need more presidents, ADs, and search firms to recognize opportunity, not just because the color of your skin and the good old boy network. You look at the historical black colleges across the country and the jobs that those guys are doing. I don't think they've been given a fair chance to move up the ladder like some of us have, just because of whether it's recognition, whether it's media coverage, whatever. But we need to continue to fight for equality across the board in the hiring practice. Because last time I checked, we're still human. We know what we're doing. We can run organizations. We can be the face of the programs. And it's just an opportunity. And if you get the opportunity, you got to do the best with it. So I really, really appreciate your question.
No, and my second question is going back to basketball. You always mention that you're in your dream job. You're coaching Providence. You're coaching in the Big East. I assume you dreamt about taking this team to the Sweet 16 and beyond. Is that something you dreamt about also?
Had an opportunity to spend time with CBS, and they're doing a great job with us. And I talk to them about what I listen to every day. And it's not a lie. I listen to that One Shining Moment song every single day. And it's real, the goosebumps that's in me as I'm saying it as we speak. Of course, it's something you dream about in your city. I seen the Final Four team in '87 when I was in high school. I saw the Final 8 team. I saw the final, the Sweet 16 team in the same year. It's really, really hard to get to this, and to do it at home at Providence College, it is a dream. And hopefully the dream doesn't end and we continue to advance. Thank you.
Next is Tim Graham from The Athletic.
Ed, I appreciate you doing this and taking some calls from Zoom here, or some questions, I should say. It sounds as though you're really making a concerted effort as a program to try to treat this game from a preparation standpoint as another game, as much as you can. But how does it change I guess from your standpoint, or if you allow it, if you allow me behind the curtain a little bit, as the stakes go up, do things change in the way you prepare for a game or scout it, or even the feeling among you and your staff?
I think you got to try to be as normal as possible in your preparation. Obviously, the anxiety is a little higher, but your preparation is what it is, and that's your culture. That's your DNA. That's who you are, and you can't deviate from what got you to the point. What got us to the point is who we are. You know, can we close out games? You know, are we paying attention to detail? I'm not going to change much. What's at stake is you win and you advance. You lose, you go home. I mean, that's really the message to the group. We don't want to go on vacation yet. We don't want to start recruiting, summer recruitment yet. We want to try to stay in the moment, stay focused. You got to make some tweaks. And not only that, the guys know the stage they're on. They know what we're playing for. You know, I don't think you have to repeat, you know, where it's at. Our job is to try to get back here next Monday for practice. Because if we're able to advance, practice is on Monday as we try to prepare for the next opponent.
And just a follow-up question, Ed. I was the reporter in Buffalo who asked you about, having thought about making the Sweet 16 for so many years and the ability to process it. It's now been a few days. What was it like, or at what point can you talk about the transition of enjoying that moment to flipping the switch and, okay, Sweet 16, that'll be on my resume forever, but we're not done here yet. We want to do more.
So that evening I went back with my wife, had an opportunity to talk to my son and daughter, which was very, very important right afterwards. And I had my buddies from college, my college teammates flew up and we had a nice room at the hotel. We talked about it there. We talked about when we were in the college room, when we grow up, we want to be. When we get to the point we want to be. And I've always wanted to be a coach. I've always wanted to be a head coach. You know, I think I was born a head coach, a leader, someone who isn't afraid to be different, someone who's not afraid to fail. I say that and I don't want to fail. So I enjoyed the moment then, but right away, the focus went to Kansas. Right away, the focus went to praising the team, appreciating our supporters, appreciating the moment. But, you know, in our business, you're relieved more so than happy. So I was relieved to get there, very excited to get there. It was a personal accomplishment, and that's kind of where I left it. And now we know we got 40 minutes away to try to advance. So that's where the focus is.
Thank you, Ed. Best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay, the next question is from John Fanta.
Hey, Ed. Good afternoon. We've talked a lot about this team, and one historical note, this is only the second team in Big East history to win the regular season championship in the league and not have a single All Big East first team player. And I guess that exemplifies the element of sacrifice, because you have players that could be talented enough to get something like that. Maybe they average 4 or 5 more points per game. What people look at, they look at the numbers when they put together awards. But how special is it that this group has sacrificed the greater good of the individual for the greater good of the team?
Well, I think it's a credit to our staff. I think it's, and I say this all the time in the most humble way, I think many search firms and president ADs are missing out on something that's special in the water here in our staff. Our staff guys, we have a lot of head coaches on that staff that give me a lot of advice. And then the selflessness of the group. You know, I mean, guys wanted to win. Guys want to win. It's a reason why Noah Horchler came back. It's a reason why Nate Watson came back. It's the reason why Al Durham transferred and Mania transferred and Croswell, right? They wanted to be a tournament team. And the narrative in our locker room is leave your mark, leave your legacy. And that's something that this group is doing. And hopefully, you know, the mark is not cemented yet. Hopefully there's more to play. Yet the selflessness of the group has been really incredible to coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for Coach Ed Cooley. Now we're going to bring in
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
graduate student Noah Horchler. He's from Melbourne Beach, Florida. First, we'll take questions from the local media for Noah.
Noah, what was it like getting back to campus on Sunday and just seeing that big, massive wave of people there to greet you guys, first of all?
Oh, it was amazing. This is kind of what we've been dreaming about. This is what we came and put in work all summer for. I think all those fans that came and celebrated our success this season, that's kind of like a testament of our success for the year.
Knowing you're going up against Kansas, one of the blue bloods of college basketball, just what does that matchup mean in terms of the significance of it?
Oh, I mean, so far to this day, it's the biggest game that we're going to have yet, and we're excited to play. We know they're a blue blood team, one of the best teams in the nation, and we're really excited to match up against them.
How do you feel in terms of, the stage being what it is? Providence hasn't been to this point in 25 years. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, kind of like I said, I mean, this is our biggest game to this day, so we're going to be ready to play them. We're preparing all week for them, and we're excited to play.
When your best was needed last round, you brought your best. How do you make sure you duplicate it again on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, we've been putting in work all year. Me, Nate, Justin, Al, Jared, all the guys. We've been in the gym all summer long. We've been working, getting shots up every single day. We're just taking each game one at a time, and this is just another game on the schedule.
When you open up your phone DMs after the win on was it Saturday? Anybody reach out special, or how many messages you think you had there?
Oh, there's definitely a few. There's been a couple NIL deals coming out, some different stuff. And, Nate Watson helps a little bit with that, being my roommate. So we're just taking everything one game at a time. Like we said, this is just an exciting time in our lives. Like, this is what we dreamed about since we were kids, and it's here in the moment right now.
How do you balance embracing, the big stage with, keeping things composed and making sure that you're doing what you need to do, practice, school, things like that? How do you balance the two?
Yeah, right now it's tough. It's pretty stressful. Being a graduate student, it's a little bit easier. We're not like bombed with classes during the day, just night classes for us. I would say some of the younger guys definitely have it tougher. They had to go to class all day long and then practice and study hall and everything. So it's been a little bit easier on me. But yeah.
To have someone who's like a fellow catch and shoot guy like AJ on the roster, how much does that maybe help you? Maybe you watch him to see what he does, and maybe he watches you to see what you do, maybe to help you get out of a slump or whatever.
Yeah, me and AJ go way back since the first day I got here. He's been one of the best shooters on the team. Just kind of watching his preparation, how he takes jump shots, definitely has helped me. He's been kind of like off the screen kind of guy. When I first came in, I wasn't doing that. So just kind of watching how he moves on the court and just the positioning that he takes his shots has definitely helped me out a little bit.
No, you mentioned NIL briefly, and that's obviously something that players haven't had to deal with before going into the tournament. I just wonder, being on this stage, what sort of opportunities that affords you, and how much you appreciate the fact that you are able to profit off who you are at this point.
Yeah, there's been a couple different guys reached out to me. A pretty cool one was Manscaped. You always need something like that. So that was pretty cool that they hit me up. Like we said, Nate has everything you could think of. Like, he TikTok star, 1 million followers. So that's pretty interesting to see what he gets. He gets sent in like Gucci and stuff like that. I'm not that big time, but
Any Horchler t-shirts coming?
Yeah, I think Barstool did just hit me up, so we might have something in the works there. So we'll see.
Any hair products?
Not yet. Nothing.
Surprising.
Yeah, if any hair products want to hit me up, I'm here.
What's it been like to have, a crew like CBS follow you guys around too? How much is that, great for you guys, but also exposure for the school as well? How great is that?
Yeah, it's completely different. I was a really under-recruited guy at high school. I signed to a JUCO and went to a mid-major school and then transferred here. So having the opportunity to be in March Madness and having CBS follow us around, that's definitely big time, and we're all benefiting from it.
You feel like you're about to take a big step up in competition? No offense to the mid-majors that you just played, but this is Kansas.
Yeah. Blue blood team. We know they're one of the best teams in the nation. We know we're going to have to play well against them to get the win, so we're ready to bring our A game.
How much does that fuel the competition in you? You're going up against one of, for you personally, how much does that fire you up?
Oh, it fires me up. I mean, we know this is going to be our biggest challenge so far. We've played plenty of great teams, and this is just going to be another step up in competition. So.
Okay, are there any questions on Zoom for Noah? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. A question from Jamal Murphy on Zoom.
Hey, could you tell me what kind of coach Coach Cooley is?
Oh, Coach Cooley is a guy that lights up the room. I mean, we walk into practice, we know what we're getting every day. We're going to have a coach that's ready to compete. He's going to give us a tough challenge throughout practice. He's definitely going to challenge us every day to become the players that we can be, reach our full potential. You can tell every coach is a tough coach that you're going to play for, and they want to see you reach your potential as a player. So I really appreciate that from him.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Noah. Next up, we have our junior point guard, Jared Bynum. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Noah.
We'll take questions from the local media first and then Zoom.
Keep working on it for plus deal. It's gonna be fun. Seriously, they're missing out.
Okay, questions for Jared?
Start with a non-basketball one. I know you said mom was there in Buffalo. Dad wasn't able to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna be able to be there in Chicago?
Yeah. I got a lot of people coming to Chicago. My mom's coming. My dad's coming. I think 2 or 3 of my grandparents are coming. So, it should be fun. Get to experience this with my family. So, it's a great experience so far.
Sweet 16 NBA arena. Just kind of describe what you're feeling right now.
I'm just soaking it all in. Just having fun with it. Of course, we got to prepare and take it serious and business-like. Approaching the next game. But, at the end of the day, it's an experience that not a lot of people get to experience. So, I'm just taking it all in and living in the moment.
Jared, it's something we talked about on Sunday, but how pivotal has it been having the support of Friartown, showing up in masses to Buffalo, hearing from a lot of students they're heading to Chicago as well for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What has that been like as a player to have that kind of support?
Oh, it's amazing. That's a big part of why we play and who we play for. We play for Firetown, and we play for the students, we play for the fan base. So to get that support and that love back from them, it's an even exchange. We go out and we play hard for them every night, and then in return they give us a lot of love and a lot of support to show their appreciation for us, and we can't express how much we appreciate them.
Jared, looks on the surface, Kansas is like maybe a winged team. How much is it going to be important for guys like AJ and Noah to maybe just kind of duplicate what they did up in Buffalo the other night and hit outside shots?
Yeah, definitely. Kansas is a great team overall and all around. They got great guards, great wings, great bigs inside as well. So, it's a Sweet 16 game, and, at this level, at this stage, everybody has to step up and have a great night in order for us to win.
Jared, I know a lot of times when teams go to the Super Bowl, head coaches will say, handle your tickets, your families, all that stuff the first day, the second day, so that you can get into your preparation. I wonder if that's your mindset right now.
Yeah, I actually got all my tickets handled. I got that settled before we practiced today. So, kind of got all that out the way because that could be turned into a messy situation. But, I'm glad I got that out the way. And, now we just focus on, preparing for the game and not who's going to be there.
And if you've got that many people coming, I just wonder how you stumble across, 10, a dozen, 15 tickets.
Somehow, I don't know how we make it work, but, it seems like every night we have a game or a big game like this, we figure out a way to get it done. So,
How tough was it, basically coming down from the high of those 2 games, back here, back to work, and then getting ready to ramp back up again? Was that a challenge for you?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a challenge. It was a good experience, being able to have that feeling that, you're going to the Sweet 16. But, once you get that feeling of success, you want more of it. Next week you want to come back feeling the same way, if not better, that, you won 2 more games in the tournament, you're moving on to the next round, you're getting prepared to go to New Orleans. So it's kind of like, yeah, we got that feeling of, being happy and being joyful for what we did. But at the same time, we want to duplicate that feeling. We want to feel the same way next week with 2 more wins.
How much do you feel like a step up in competition may be coming? No disrespect to the mid-majors you just played, but Kansas is Kansas.
Oh yeah, like any year you hear Kansas name, they're a blue blood program, and this is what you prepare for. They're playing at the highest level against one of the best teams in the country year in and year out. So I'm looking forward to going out there and competing and, hopefully pulling out a win.
How much does a matchup like this, get the competitive juice as well? Like, all right, I'm about to play a number one seed.
Yeah, playing the number one seed in the tournament. They got an All-American on their team. They got a bunch of, other high-level names. So, just another opportunity to go out and, to prove to the country and to the world, who we have here in Friartown and who we have on the team here at Providence.
You guys played so well, and one of the aspects of beating Richmond the way you did was you got some shots to fall, and that was the first time you'd done that in 3 or 4 games. I wonder if maybe you feel like an effort like that sort of takes the lid off and get you guys back to where you were earlier in the season.
Yeah, definitely. Having a great shooting night like that, it definitely builds our confidence and going into the next game. But at the same time, we also focus on other aspects as well, such as defense and rebounding, because, it could be a night where the ball doesn't always fall in the basket like that, and you got to, hang your hat on your defense and, getting second chance shots and getting to the rim or getting to the free throw line.
Okay, we have questions from Zoom now. We have Jamal Murphy from ESPN.
Hey, Jared. What kind of coach? How would you describe Coach Cooley as a coach? You played basketball your entire life. You've had plenty of coaches. How would you describe him?
He's definitely the most animated coach that I played for. I say it all the time to different people. If he could, he'll put a jersey on and go out there and play with us if he had the eligibility. But playing for him has been a great experience. You just feel his vibe, his energy when you're out there on the court. Like, he just makes you want to go harder. Like, you're running through a brick wall for him, and he knows the potential you have and the success that we can get with this group. So when we're not reaching that potential, he gets on us and he figures out a way to bring that out of us. And it's all through tough love and just knowing how much of a great person he is. Just being able to play for somebody like that is a dream come true.
Thank you.
Next, we have John Fanta from the Big East Digital Network.
Technical difficulties. Yeah.
Hey, Jared. Congrats again on getting this far and Sweet 16 appearance. I'm curious, for you and Al, you seem to just have this dynamic of whether it's you closing or Al closing or Al setting the tone with a couple buckets or you another night. Tell me about maybe your first encounters with Al Durham and what it is to have that relationship with him, knowing you guys are together and steering the ship of this team at the one spot.
Yeah, so Al first got here in the summer, and ever since he got here, he was a guy that was always in the gym, first one in the gym, last one to leave. He kind of had that mindset coming to the team. So somebody like myself, who's also a gym rat, being able to have somebody, especially that plays the same position as me, having somebody in the gym like that all the time, that kind of just set the tone for the rest of the year. Having somebody, the older guy, coming in and working on different things and being able to work out with him and compete against him in practice, we just made each other better every day. So, and it's all paying off now when we're going against other teams, and we say it all the time. We want to be the best backcourt, if not the best 1-2 punch, as from the guard positions in the Big East. And now we have a chance to prove it to the rest of the country, playing against other teams from other conferences in the tournament. So knowing I got somebody like that I can play alongside of, whether he has the ball or whether I'm off the ball coming off screens and he's finding me or I'm finding him, we have a lot of combinations that we can do with me and him in the backcourt together.
Okay, we have a Zoom question from Matt St. Jean.
Hey, Jared. You guys had 2 pretty strong defensive performances. Last weekend, you're going against one of the top offenses in all of college basketball Friday night. What can you take away from the last 2 games that you're going to have to really bring Friday night when you go against Kansas?
I think I got to credit the defensive effort that we put into the coaching staff and the scouting report they had. We were really dialed into, taking them out of a couple of their sets and ways they get their easy baskets. So this week, preparation-wise, it's going to be a big, scout week and staying locked in and really having a strong focus on what they're trying to get to within their sets. And then at the end of the shot clock, being able to guard the ball and keep the ball in front to, limit paint touches and limit second chance points. I think that's going to be a good way to, kind of repeat the same defensive efforts we had in the first weekend.
Okay, thank you. I think we have a follow-up question from Jamal Murphy at ESPN.
Yeah, just in terms of the Kansas matchup, is there a team in the Big East or a team that you played this year that you kind of can compare them to, either physically or style of play?
I don't know if there's like one team in particular, but the Big East, we had great teams that play different styles, and they got players that play a variety of different ways. So I just think throughout the conference play, we've played against teams that kind of had some similarities, such as like the great guard play. Like when we play Villanova, they got great guards who can make shots, and then at the same time, you play other teams where they could throw it inside, and they try to pound the paint. So I think Kansas and a couple of teams in the league have a good similarity between the two of those points, and we're going to have to really be dialed in on, keeping the ball out the paint, but at the same time, rebound as well, because they're also a very good offensive and defensive rebounding team.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jared. That wraps up our press conference for today. This press conference will also be posted on YouTube for anyone who was not able to record it. Thank you for coming. And again, the Friars will play on Friday night versus Kansas at 7:29 p.m. on TBS. Thank you.